Have you ever wondered that at what point in life we start to compete with each other? At what point in life we start this unhealthy comparison with people around us? We all are living in a super competitive world. We are living in a world where we see people competing with one another all the time. And trust me, this competition gets very tiring and super draining. There is a reason why each one of us tends to believe that we are not doing enough, that maybe we are not good enough, or maybe we are not deserving of achieving great things in life. We see people competing at every level in life. We see people competing professionally, emotionally, and even on personal level. What we fail to understand is that the more we compete with people around us, the more unhappy and unsatisfied we will be by the end of the day. Maybe that's why instead of becoming better people, we are becoming bitter people with time. When we constantly compete with the people around us, the most important thing that we lose is our inner peace. Maybe that's why today we see people achieving great things in life, but deep inside, they don't feel fulfilled. There is lack of peace in their lives. When we are constantly competing with people, when we are constantly comparing what we are achieving with those who are around us, we become toxic with time. I call this toxic comparison or toxic competition. And this toxic competition leads to insecurity, hatred, envy, greed, and jealousy. When we are competing with people around us, we want to become better. We want to do great things in life and we strive for excellence. But the problem is, what we are doing is not for us. It's for people around us. That's why when you are trying to achieve something just because your neighbor has achieved something or your colleague has done something and you want to show your sibling that you are good enough, by the end of the day, you are never going to feel fulfilled. No amount of success is going to satisfy you because what you are doing right now is not for you, it's for them. And when I say them, I'm talking about people who are least interested in your life. So when you decide that instead of comparing yourself with other people or with what they are doing, focus on how you can improve for yourself. Toxic competition leads to insecurities. Because of toxic competition, you will never be able to appreciate that you are doing enough, that you are worthy of achieving great things in life. Toxic competition will never allow you to be grateful for what you have because you're constantly seeking for more. You're constantly seeking for validation from people around you. That's why in today's time and age, we see a lot of people thriving and excelling in their careers and also in their personal lives. But they're constantly competing and comparing their relationships and their life goals with the people around them. Hence, they feel ungrateful. They feel unworthy of what they have. But here is a question. Have you ever wondered that at what point in life we start to compete with each other? At what point in life we start this unhealthy comparison with people around us? I'll tell you. This very practice starts at home when we are kids. You might have seen parents comparing two children. One child is always smarter, wiser, kinder, better than the other. Now imagine, how can these two siblings who are compared with each other throughout their lives can ever be friends? Then we see this toxic competition in our school system. A child who scores great grades is always loved, admired, appreciated, and respected by the entire school. Now imagine that a child who's not performing well enough, can he ever be friend with a position holder? That child will always feel like a failure. A child who's not good at studies according to the teachers will always belittle himself. This is what toxic competition at a very young age does. A child loses his confidence. A child loses his integrity and self-respect. When these insecure children become adults and when they enter in their professional lives, these two colleagues are always going to compete with each other. They will always be comparing their skills with one another. They will always see their failure in their colleague's success. Instead of getting inspired, they'll get intimidated. This is what toxic competition at a very young age does. And then when these adults get into a relationship, they start to compete with their life partner. They start to compete with their spouse. Instead of becoming good companions, they become competitors. Instead of compatibility, there is intimidation in a relationship. Now you must be thinking that all of this is unhealthy competition. But then competition is good because we want to improve, we want to become better. Then what is healthy competition? Let me tell you. The only competitor you have in your life is yourself. You are your biggest competitor. You want to improve, you want to become a better person, not because you have to show it to the world, but because you have to do it for yourself. You are not competing with anyone around you. You're not competing with your siblings, you're not competing with your classmates, you're not competing with your colleagues and your spouse. You're competing with yourself every day. Because in today's time and age, if you can look at yourself in the mirror and say that the person that I see today in the mirror is way better than the one that I saw yesterday, then my dear friend, you are winning at life. This is how healthy competition looks like, where you are not busy comparing what you have with the people around you, but because you want to improve your life in the best way possible. You want to strive, you want to be the best version of you because you want to do it for yourself. And this kind of achievement is going to make you feel fulfilled and grateful.